My name is Lorraine Smith. I am a UK-based dance artist and a senior dance lecturer at Teesside University. Most of my experience as a performer and choreographer is in dance theatre and costume performance, and this includes around 6 years performing and choreographing for London College of Fashion for the MA costume design for performance.
Hi, my name is Daphne Karstens and I am a costume artist based in Amsterdam. I have a BA in scenography from the Theatre Academy in Amsterdam and an MA in costume design for performance from London College of Fashion. In my work, I explore the concept of body sculptures to create experimental and innovative wearable art pieces. I like to work with unconventional materials and to combine the individual qualities of materials through experimentation with shape, structure, and technology. In my work, I explore the boundaries and possibilities of costume and wearable sculpture and translate the outcome of this into visual, costume-based performances.
Ping was my graduation project at the MA Costume Design for Performance. And actually, from the moment when Lorraine joined the project, we really managed to explore the abilities of the costume on the performing body and push the performance to a next level. Lorraine had a really unique understanding of the possibilities of materials on the body, which is why I really enjoyed our collaboration at the time and why we have been collaborating ever since.
I've come from a very dance-specific background where the costume came much later in the performance process. So I think over the years, I learned to be much more open to the costume as the main stimulus for ideas of movement and choreography. So I think by the time I got into my 6th year and then met Daphne, it was really about listening to the design, like putting it on the body and just seeing how it made me feel and how it wanted me to move, and also just really making sure I understood what the narrative aim of the costume was and how that might be embodied through performance.
After Ping, we wanted to collaborate again and try a different design approach, which resulted in our sessions project. So instead of working with a pre-designed costume, we wanted to explore the possibilities of different materials in a collaborative way and approach the creation process openly. We started collecting with a variety of used materials and allowing ourselves 1 day per material for both the making of the costume and the movement exploration. So on day 1, we worked with purple bottle caps, day 2 with mannequin hands, day 3 with plastic cups, and day 4 with green cardboard boxes. So we started exploring each material with little experiments and placing them on the body to find out how it feels, looks, moves, and also how each material wanted to be manipulated. We also worked quite fast to force ourselves to make intuitive design decisions while allowing ourselves to be guided by the material.
So in this project, it was quite clear that we were working with, in a way, Jacques Lecoq's LEM approach. So working with this real sense of openness, curiosity, intuition, and the whole concept of learning by doing, undoing, and redoing. Kate Lane actually refers to this way of working as embodied play, and it definitely felt from the kind of performer mover body point of view that it was very much really getting to connected with the material and listening again to what it wanted us to do with it, you know, the agency of the material. I took part in the costume construction, so I wasn't just confined to my own discipline of, oh no, you're just the performer, the mover. Daphne was very open to the idea that I would help make the costume as well.
I think it was a very equal process where movement influenced the costume and costume influenced movement. It was actually a constant visual interaction that was going on, which made us both more aware of each other during the whole process.
It kind of invaded your unconscious, that you started to just know physically what you could and couldn't do with the material, how pliable it was, and the give of each material. So using the concept the material directs, we were able to create a working process to give precedence to the agency of the materials, which raises the interesting question whether this way of working diminished or impacted our own agency. However, it's clear from the project outcome that agency of both the materials, my own, Daphne's, and the costume designs were able to materialize and flourish through interaction with each other. So in effect, the project, although it was instigated by the materials, was developed through a sharing of agency between all elements and collaborators. It was quite a liberating process in that, usually, whether it's from the very beginning of the project or if as a performer or choreographer, you're coming in halfway through, that there's already a design that gives a sense of a narrative or a character, or the design came from a preset narrative or character, so you're almost restricted in what you're supposed to represent. So to be able to just enjoy the process of just making something and not knowing the outcome, and then just having that having the material be transformed in relation to your body, to then really see, well, okay, now it's part of my body almost. How does it want me to move, and what kind of character or narrative is coming up?
I think it was very inspiring to be working this way because it made us constantly aware of the behavior of the materials. I think often costumes are constructed by recreating the design drawings, and I think sometimes we become too focused on recreating the design. We might be forcing materials into shapes and behaviors how we want them to behave, but sometimes this makes us miss the unexpected surprises that different materials can give us by allowing the materials to direct. In sessions, we approached this in an open way without wanting to know the outcome, which gave us the freedom to explore the agency of each material.
So that was a really beautiful moment for me when we were kind of finally, the whole thing was complete, and then just exploring it on my body through performance, and just letting any kind of images, movement styles, vocabulary, characters, narratives just kind of bubble to the surface, and not feeling that I had to be one or the other. I could just really allow the costume to talk to me. Was really, really enjoyable as a performer, and it's definitely a way I'd like to continue to work.
Sessions was quite an experimental project, not focusing on a live performance as outcome, but about free movement experimentation. I definitely would like to maintain this approach in my work in general, as I believe that being open to the agency of material can result in unexpected outcomes in both design and performance.